Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin number 1. Today, you and I are diving into one of the most iconic, surprising, and quietly powerful state quarters ever released in the United States of America. The 1999 Connecticut State Quarter, the legendary coin that carries history, artistry, hidden rarity, unexpected errors, and the kind of mystery that makes collectors across the world pause for a moment and look twice. Imagine holding a quarter that tells the story of one of the oldest and most resilient symbols of American heritage, the Charter Oak. This tree wasn't just a tree. It was a witness. A silent guardian of an era where courage, defiance, and the struggle for freedom shaped the future of a nation. When the U.S. Mint chose the Charter Oak to represent Connecticut, they didn't simply design a coin. They preserved a moment of American identity in metal form. And the 1999 release, being part of the very first year of the State Quarter program, instantly made these coins historic, desirable, and in some cases, incredibly valuable. But not all 1999 Connecticut quarters are the same. While millions were minted, only a fraction carry the traits collectors dream about. Today, we uncover those rare details that turn an ordinary 25-cent piece into a prized collectible worth hunting, storing, and cherishing. This is where the video becomes very important, so listen carefully, because these tiny details often hide right in plain sight. Start with the design itself. The twisting, branching, almost web-like structure of the Charter Oak created the perfect opportunity for minting anomalies. Every line, curve, and shadow on this coin had to be struck with absolute precision. That extreme detail means the Connecticut quarter is one of the most error-prone coins of the 1999 State Quarter set. And for collectors, error means opportunity. Value. Rarity. Demand. Among the most famous sought-after errors is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet, the blank coin disc, is not properly positioned in the coin press. The result is a Connecticut quarter where part of the design is shifted or incomplete. Even small shifts catch a collector's eye, but dramatic off-center examples are extremely rare and can rise sharply in value because they represent a failure in a high-speed minting system that rarely lets such errors escape. Another treasure is the struck-through error. This happens when a foreign object like grease, cloth fibers, or metal shavings lands between the die and the planchet during striking. Instead of a perfect, crisp appearance, you look closely and see missing details in the branches, smooth patches, or oddly flattened areas. Many collectors specifically check Connecticut quarters for struck-through grease errors because the deep, thin details of the tree make these mistakes more noticeable and unique. Next, we have die cracks and die breaks. The Charter Oak's design is famous for creating small stress points on the die. When a die begins to fracture, it leaves raised lines on the coin, almost like lightning streaks running through the branches. Some look like natural parts of the tree, but others form thick, dramatic lines known as cut errors where the metal fills the broken area. These pieces are considered premium collectibles because they represent the final moments of a failing die that still managed to strike coins before being replaced. Collectors also search for coins struck on the wrong planchet. Although extremely rare, any 1999 Connecticut quarter struck accidentally on a nickel or dime planchet becomes an instant high-value anomaly. These are the kinds of errors that turn a regular coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The most hunted versions are high-grade, untouched, sharp-struck examples, especially those with brilliant luster, clean fields, and perfect details on the Charter Oak branches. Because the tree is so intricate, any flaw drops the grade quickly. A perfect condition example becomes not just a collectible, but a showpiece for serious numismatists. And why does this quarter excite collectors so much? Because it represents the perfect storm: first-year release, iconic design, high error potential, difficult grading conditions, and strong collector demand even 25 years later. Every collector of state quarters, silver quarters, error coins, and early mint releases keeps their eyes open for the Connecticut piece that stands out from all the rest. If you have this coin tucked away, saved in a jar, or sitting somewhere unnoticed, it may be time to bring it to the light and inspect it again. Rare pieces don't always look rare at first glance. Sometimes it takes knowledge, patience, and curiosity to uncover a hidden gem. Finally, the value. High-grade examples in pristine condition can sell for more than $100. Dramatic off-center error pieces have sold for more than $300. Rare struck-on-wrong planchet examples have reached more than $1,000 in auctions depending on condition and rarity. Coin number 2. We are diving deep into one of the most admired and surprisingly valuable coins in the entire state quarter series. This is not just any 25-cent coin you keep in change. This is a piece of American identity, craftsmanship, and hidden rarity that still excites collectors around the world. Imagine holding a coin that carries the spirit of the Free State, the pride of early America, and the architectural beauty of the Maryland State House. This building isn't just a design, it represents the oldest state capitol still in continuous legislative use, a structure where history wasn't just recorded, it was created. When the U.S. Mint selected the Maryland State House and the two 12-leaf clusters of white oak branches to decorate the reverse of the coin, they weren't just designing a quarter. They were preserving the legacy of leadership, endurance, and political heritage that helped shape the nation. But here is where the magic begins. Although more than 1 billion Maryland quarters were minted, only a tiny fraction carry the unique traits that collectors desperately search for. These rare traits, errors, and striking oddities are what transform a simple, everyday coin into a valuable treasure tucked inside collections, vaults, showcases, and auction houses across the country. And today's video is all about uncovering those secrets, so listen closely, because every tiny detail of this coin can be the difference between pocket change and a prized collectible. Start with the design itself. The tall, elegant Maryland State House dome, with its layered wood shingles, delicate windows, and slender spire, is one of the most intricate designs of the 2000 state quarter releases. Every line, ridge, and curve requires extraordinary precision from the minting dies. That makes this coin naturally prone to errors that collectors absolutely love. One of the most famous errors that appear on the Maryland quarter is the off-center strike. When the planchet is not perfectly aligned during the strike, part of the design shifts off the edge. Sometimes it's slight, sometimes dramatic, but in both cases, these coins quickly rise in value. The Maryland design, because of its symmetrical architecture, makes off-center errors especially eye-catching and instantly recognizable. Next is the die crack and die break phenomenon. Because the State House dome features layered wooden textures and thin architectural lines, dies can fracture, leaving raised lines that run across the dome or through the windows. These aren't scratches, these are mint-made marks that increase the rarity. Some even show small cuts, where pieces of the die broke off and left bold blobs of extra metal near the rim or the building structure. Collectors adore these kinds of coins because they represent the last moments of a damaged die desperately stamping coins before finally being replaced. Another incredible error found on the Maryland quarter is the struck-through grease error. When grease or debris gets on the die, details like the windows of the dome or the tree clusters appear faint, missing, or melted. On the Maryland coin, these weakly struck areas become dramatic because the dome has so much fine detail. A missing window, softened shingles, or faded text can significantly raise the coin's desirability. And then there's one of the rarest mistakes of all, the Maryland quarter struck on the wrong planchet. A few examples have surfaced where this coin was accidentally struck on a dime planchet, nickel planchet, or even a foreign planchet. These pieces are extremely valuable because they reveal a major mint mishap that escaped into circulation unnoticed. A smaller planchet means missing borders, incomplete legends, and a design squeezed unnaturally, exactly the kind of anomaly collectors dream of discovering. Now, let's talk about condition, because with this coin, condition is everything. Even with perfect minting, the detailed architecture of the State House creates natural challenges. High points wear quickly, especially on the dome's shingles and the oak clusters. For a Maryland quarter to be considered truly mint state, it must have an untouched surface, sharp lines, intense luster, and no friction on the delicate details. That is why flawless Maryland quarters from 2000 are heavily sought after by investors and professional collectors. Why do collectors adore this coin so much? It's because the Maryland State Quarter represents a perfect blend of American heritage, aesthetic beauty, collectible potential, historical symbolism, and error variety. As the seventh release in the State Quarter program, it holds a special place in the early part of the series, when excitement was high and minting challenges were frequent. Every Maryland quarter, whether flawless or error-marked, tells a story of craftsmanship, history, and surprise, and now we reach the part every collector listens for: value. How much is the rare Maryland quarter really worth today? Top-grade mint state examples with perfect surfaces sell for more than $100. Dramatic off-center error examples have sold for more than $300. Maryland quarters struck on the wrong planchet have reached auction results of more than $1,000 depending on rarity and condition. Coin number 3. We explore the extraordinary United States of America State Quarter from the year 2008, representing the land of enchantment, New Mexico. This is not just a coin. This is a piece of history, geography, culture, and mystery all captured in 25 cents of American metal. And hidden inside it are rare varieties, powerful symbols, and unexpected minting errors that turn ordinary change into valuable treasures for collectors around the world. The design of this coin instantly grabs attention. The outline of the state of New Mexico sits boldly in the center, surrounded by the ancient and sacred Zia sun symbol, a representation deeply connected to the culture, identity, and spiritual tradition of the region. Few coins in the entire 50-state program carry such meaningful symbolism. It reflects harmony, balance, the 4 seasons, the 4 directions, the 4 stages of life, and the sacred teachings passed down for generations. When collectors hold this coin, they don't just see a state, they see centuries of history fused into a tiny piece of metal. But what makes this coin especially fascinating for collectors is the combination of its powerful design and its unique minting characteristics. Released in the later years of the program, the New Mexico quarter was struck when the U.S. Mint was dealing with heavy demand, aging equipment, and constant production pressure. This perfect storm created a variety of rare and valuable errors that make this coin stand out for coin hunters, investors, and numismatic enthusiasts. One of the most dramatic and desirable errors on the New Mexico quarter is the off-center strike. Because the Zia symbol and state outline sit at the center, even a slight shift becomes extremely noticeable. When these coins are struck off-center, the balance of the design breaks dramatically, creating a striking visual effect that collectors love. Slight off-center examples are popular, but large, bold off-center coins can become highly valuable because they showcase a minting mistake that naturally draws attention. Another powerful rarity is the die break and die crack error. With the precise lines of the Zia sun and the state outline, the dies experience stress at specific contact points. Over time, tiny cracks form, and when the die continues striking coins, those cracks appear on the coins as raised lines. Some spread across the rays of the sun symbol, others cut across the outline of the state, creating dramatic and fascinating visual variations. In severe cases, a piece of the die breaks away completely, causing a cut error, or an area of extra raised metal forms on the rim or near the design. These pieces can become top collectibles because they offer unique shapes, bold imperfections, and unmistakable character. One of the most intriguing errors for this quarter is the struck-through debris error. If grease, dust, or foreign material gets onto the die, parts of the Zia rays or sections of the state outline appear faded, missing, or melted into the fields. Because the design is so symmetrical and precise, any loss of detail stands out instantly even to casual collectors. These subtle yet visually distinctive errors are highly desirable because they create a one-of-a-kind version of this iconic coin. There are also examples of the New Mexico quarter struck on the wrong planchet. These are extremely rare and occur when the blank used for another coin, such as a dime, nickel, or even a foreign coin, accidentally enters the press and receives the New Mexico design. These coins become instant treasures, with incomplete borders, missing letters, and unusual metal composition. They attract serious bidding in auctions because they represent a major minting error that should never have escaped into circulation. Let's talk about condition, because this coin is famous for showing wear quickly. The smooth surfaces around the design often develop scratches and friction early. The rays of the Zia symbol, especially the thin outer lines, lose sharpness if the coin circulates even slightly. High-grade examples with clean luster, untouched fields, and razor-sharp lines are surprisingly difficult to find. That's why collectors place such value on perfectly preserved New Mexico quarters from 2008. They are not only physically beautiful, they are also significantly more limited than many assume. Collectors love this coin because it blends art, culture, rarity, and symbolism in a way that few modern coins do. It carries the heritage of the native people, the geography of the American Southwest, and the craftsmanship of the mint. Every error, every variation, every high-grade example tells its own story. And that story continues to inspire treasure hunters who examine their change, search rolls, and explore old coin jars hoping to uncover something extraordinary. And now, the part every viewer waits for, the value. High-grade mint state New Mexico quarters can sell for more than $100. Off-center error coins have sold for more than $300. Rare examples struck on the wrong planchet have reached auction totals of more than $1,000 depending on rarity and condition. Coin number 4. We explore one of the most iconic, earliest, and secretly valuable coins of the entire state quarter program. The United States of America 1999 Georgia State Quarter is more than just a coin. It is the story of the Peach State, the symbolism of Southern pride, and the thrill of discovering rare mint errors that transform a simple 25-cent piece into a collector's treasure. If you love coins, listen closely, because this one hides more surprises than most people ever imagine. The design of this coin immediately grabs attention. In the center sits the famous peach, the symbol that has represented Georgia for generations. Surrounding it is a delicate wreath of live oak leaves, tied together like a crown celebrating the state's natural beauty and deep agricultural history. Beneath it, Georgia's proud motto Wisdom, Justice, Moderation reminds us of the values upon which the state was built. And behind all this lies yet another important detail, the silhouette of the state outline itself, creating a layered, meaningful, and beautifully balanced design that collectors have admired since the moment it was released. But as stunning as this coin looks, its true fascination begins with how it was minted. Being part of the very first year of state quarter production, 1999, means the mint was under intense pressure. Machines ran at extreme speed, dies were replaced frequently, and millions of coins poured out of the mint every day. High speed plus high demand equals high chances for mistakes. And when mistakes happen in the earliest state quarters, collectors pay attention. One of the most exciting errors found on the Georgia State Quarter is the off-center strike. When the blank planchet is not positioned correctly, the design shifts dramatically. The peach may tilt toward one side, the motto may be cut off, or the state outline may appear incomplete. Even small off-centers catch a collector's eye, but large ones, where 10% or more of the design is missing, become extremely desirable and can sell for impressive prices. Another major category of rarity is die cracks and die breaks. The wreath, with its many curved leaves and narrow outlines, stresses the die constantly. Over time, these stress points cause fractures. When the cracked die continues striking coins, raised lines appear across the leaves, through the peach, or even across the state outline. Some collectors call these lightning cracks because they look like streaks of energy running across the coin. In more dramatic cases, pieces of the die break off entirely, creating a cut error where a blob of metal fills a missing section near the rim. These are especially valuable because no two cut errors are ever exactly the same. The Georgia quarter is also known for struck-through errors. Dust, grease, or debris trapped in the die can cause missing details. A peach with smooth spots, a wreath with blurred leaves, or letters that appear melted are all signs of a struck-through error. Because the 1999 dies were pushed to their limits, struck-through mistakes appear on multiple state quarters from that year, but Georgia examples are among the most dramatic due to the deep, fine details of the design. Another extremely rare but extremely valuable mistake is the wrong planchet error. This happens when the Georgia design is struck on the wrong blank, such as a dime planchet, an unplated planchet, or even a foreign planchet. These coins are instantly recognizable because the design looks squeezed, the rim disappears, or the coin is lighter than normal. These are the kinds of errors that collectors dream of finding because they almost never leave the mint. Condition also plays a massive role in the value of the Georgia State Quarter. Because of the intricate wreath, the high points on the peach, and the multiple layered design elements, the coin wears quickly in circulation. A perfectly preserved Georgia quarter with sharp lines, flawless surfaces, and bright luster becomes a true gem, especially from the first year of the state quarter series. Even small touches of wear can reduce the grade dramatically, so high-grade examples are rare and extremely desirable. Collectors love this coin because it represents the beginning of a legendary collecting era. The 1999 state quarters carry a special nostalgic energy, and the Georgia design is one of the most meaningful and visually balanced in the entire set. When you combine history, symbolism, minting pressure, and era variety, you get a coin that continues to excite collectors even after more than 2 decades. And now, the moment every viewer waits for: value. High-grade Georgia state quarters can sell for more than $100. Impressive off-center errors have sold for more than $300. Rare wrong planchet errors have reached totals of more than $1,000 depending on rarity and condition. Coin number 5. You and I are stepping into the story of one of the most visually dramatic and secretly valuable coins in the entire state quarter series. The United States of America 2006 Nebraska State Quarter is much more than a coin. It is a tribute to Western exploration, Native American heritage, frontier courage, and the unforgettable symbol of Chimney Rock rising above the Great Plains. And inside this tiny piece of metal are rare errors, hidden treasures, and surprising varieties that make coin collectors across the world lean in with excitement. The moment you look at this coin, the design captures you. In the center stands the tall, elegant, natural wonder known as Chimney Rock, a landmark that guided thousands of pioneers across the Oregon Trail. Its stone structure rises like a natural compass needle carved by time, wind, and spirit. Alongside it, a horse-drawn covered wagon moves forward, reminding us of the immense bravery of those who crossed harsh terrain searching for freedom, land, and opportunity. The sun's rays stretch across the open landscape, casting light on a journey that shaped the identity of America. But this coin is more than a piece of scenery. It is a symbol of survival, exploration, and legacy. And just as the landmark stood strong against storms and age, the coin itself carries the marks of the minting process, some perfect, some flawed, and some incredibly rare. These rare mistakes are what transform this 25-cent piece into something collectors chase passionately. One of the most dramatic and valuable errors found on the Nebraska quarter is the off-center strike. When the blank planchet enters the press at the wrong angle, the entire design shifts in one direction. Imagine Chimney Rock leaning toward the rim or the wagon wheel cut off. These off-center errors create visual tension that collectors absolutely love. Even small shifts draw interest, but dramatic ones become show-stopping collectibles because they reveal a minting accident that escaped the mint's tight quality control. Another powerful rarity is the die crack and die break error. The Nebraska design, with its long rays of sunlight, wagon lines, and textured rock surface, puts stress on the dies. Over time, tiny fractures form. When these damaged dies continue striking coins, the cracks appear as raised lines cutting through the sky, the prairie, or even across the wagon. Some cracks look like lightning bolts streaking across the sun. Others create bold lumps near the rim known as cut errors, where part of the die broke off completely. These dramatic cut errors make the coin instantly valuable because they are unique. No two are ever the same. The Nebraska quarter is also known for struck-through errors, especially struck-through grease. When grease clogs the die, the details vanish. The rays of the sun may fade, the covered wagon can look ghost-like, or Chimney Rock might appear soft and melted. These coins instantly stand out when inspected closely, and they attract collectors who love mysterious, visually unusual varieties. Another incredible rarity for this coin is the wrong planchet strike. This happens when a planchet meant for a dime, nickel, or foreign coin mistakenly receives the Nebraska quarter design. These pieces are extremely valuable because they reveal a major minting mistake. They look thin, incomplete, or oddly sized, and for collectors, that makes them irresistible. Condition is also a major factor in value. The raised design elements of the Nebraska quarter, especially the high points of the wagon and the rays of the sun, wear down very quickly. That means perfect mint-state examples with flawless shine, sharp strikes, and untouched surfaces are harder to find than many people think. A truly well-preserved Nebraska quarter becomes a collector's prize because the details are so delicate and so quick to fade. Collectors love this coin not only for its beauty and symbolism but also because 2006 was a year of high minting pressure. Millions of coins had to be struck in limited time, and this stress increased the chances of errors slipping through the system. Combine that with a majestic, detailed design, and you get a coin that continues to surprise collectors even today. Every Nebraska quarter tells a story of explorers, of survival, of minting history, and of the wonderful chaos that sometimes emerges inside the coin presses. And now, the moment every coin lover waits for: value. High-grade, near-perfect Nebraska state quarters can sell for more than $100. Off-center errors have sold for more than $300. Rare wrong planchet errors have reached auction totals of more than $1,000 depending on rarity and condition. Coin number 6. You are about to discover one of the most symbolic, eye-catching, and surprisingly valuable coins in the entire state quarter program. The United States of America 2000 New Hampshire State Quarter, featuring the legendary Old Man of the Mountain, is not just a piece of change. It is a tribute to history, a monument forever preserved in metal, and a treasure that contains rare minting errors capable of turning an ordinary coin into a collectible worth far beyond its 25-cent face value. If you love coins, get ready, because this one carries mystery, symbolism, and charm like no other. The design takes your breath away at first glance. Carved into the coin is the powerful image of the Old Man of the Mountain, the natural rock profile that once stood tall in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. For generations, this formation was the pride of the state, a symbol of strength, identity, and rugged resilience. And here, forever captured in metal, is that unforgettable profile staring out over the landscape. Surrounding it are the words "Live Free or Die," perhaps the most dramatic and fearless motto of all the state designs. This motto echoes through American history, capturing the personality, courage, and independence of the Granite State. But when the U.S. Mint created this coin in 2000, the machinery was under immense pressure. The demand for state quarters was massive, and millions had to be produced every single day. With high speed, intense pressure, and delicate detail, the perfect conditions developed for rare minting mistakes to appear. And those mistakes are exactly what give this coin its unexpected value. One of the most exciting errors found on the New Hampshire quarter is the off-center strike. When the blank enters the press slightly out of alignment, the old man's profile shifts toward the rim, the motto moves off balance, and the design becomes visually dramatic. Even small off-centers catch the attention of collectors, but large off-center strikes become instant treasures because they reveal a minting misalignment impossible to ignore. Another major rarity is the die crack and die break error. The old man's rocky features, with sharp angles and stacked layers of stone, place enormous stress on the dies. Over time, cracks begin forming. When these cracked dies continue striking coins, raised lines appear across the rock face, through the lettering, or even across the state outline. These lines look like lightning scars stamped across the coin. And when pieces of the die finally break off, the result is a bold cut error, large blobs of metal near the rim or edges that make the coin extremely collectible because no two cut errors are ever identical. This coin is also known for struck-through errors. When grease or debris gets trapped inside the die, the details fade or disappear. The old man's facial features may appear smooth or melted. The background textures may look ghost-like. Sometimes entire letters in the motto look faint or missing. These mysterious errors are loved by collectors because they create one-of-a-kind coins that look entirely different from the normal strikes. One of the rarest and most valuable mistakes is the wrong planchet strike. If a blank meant for a dime, nickel, or foreign coin gets struck with the New Hampshire design, the result becomes a rare and expensive collectible. These coins appear thinner or smaller, missing rims, or incomplete designs. Because these errors occur accidentally inside the mint, they are extremely rare and instantly desirable to serious collectors. Condition is incredibly important for the New Hampshire quarter. The sharp angles of the rock formation and the thin lettering of the motto wear down quickly in circulation. Many coins lost their fine details early on. A perfect mint state example with strong luster, sharp edges on the mountain profile, and perfectly struck text is harder to find than most people think. That is why high-grade New Hampshire quarters remain so popular with collectors. They look stunning when preserved and become valuable snapshots of early 2000 minting quality. Collectors love this coin because it represents the soul of New Hampshire, the beauty of the American Northeast, and a symbol that no longer exists in the real world. The old man of the mountain collapsed in 2003, but on the quarter, he remains forever frozen in time. That makes this coin emotionally meaningful as well as visually striking. Combine this with the error varieties, the minting challenges, and the sentimental symbolism, and you get a piece that continues to fascinate collectors more than 2 decades later. Now the moment every viewer waits for: value. High-grade New Hampshire state quarters can sell for more than $100. Off-center errors have sold for more than $300. Rare wrong planchet errors have reached auction results of more than $1,000 depending on rarity and condition. Coin number 7. We are stepping into a world of mystery, history, and hidden treasure as we explore one of the most fascinating coins of the entire 50-state quarter program, the United States of America Rare 2008 Hawaii State Quarter. This coin is the final issue of the legendary 50-state series, and that alone gives it a powerful place in the story of American coinage. But when you mix history, culture, symbolism, the last year excitement, and the surprising rare errors that can turn an ordinary quarter into a truly valuable collectible, you get a coin that people simply cannot ignore. So coin lovers, sit back, relax, and listen carefully, because today we are diving deep into the details that make the Hawaii quarter one of the most enchanting coins a collector can own. The 2008 Hawaii quarter celebrates a state unlike any other, a place known for volcanic landscapes, ancient traditions, and a history that stretches far beyond American borders. On the reverse of this coin, you will see the figure of King Kamehameha, the legendary Hawaiian ruler who united the islands into one kingdom. His outstretched arm symbolizes strength, unity, and the story of a people whose culture continues to influence the world. Surrounding the design are the islands of Hawaii, shaped perfectly to represent the archipelago. Below it is the Hawaiian motto, Ue Maukui o ka ena I ka pono, which translates to the life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. Just by looking at it, you can feel the spirit of the islands, something almost magical, but behind this beauty, something else happened. As the last coin of the series, the 2008 P and 2008 D Hawaii quarters were produced with huge demand. Millions of people were saving them, collecting them, trading them, and waiting for this final release. That's why today collectors still search for this coin in rolls, jars, bags, and bank boxes, hoping to find the rare ones, the error ones, the high-grade ones, and especially the extremely rare uncirculated gems that survived the heavy circulation of the time. Now, let's move into what makes certain Hawaii quarters rare and expensive. The first major rarity is the high-grade business strike. Many of these coins were heavily circulated, scratched in pockets, tossed in drawers, or stored without protection. Finding a near-perfect example with sharp details and clean luster is tough. Collectors are always searching for quarters graded at the top scale because only a few survived in that condition. These top-grade examples can sell for surprising prices when they appear at auction. Next comes the world of errors, the part that truly excites coin collectors. Some of the rarest Hawaii errors include off-center strikes, in which the design is shifted and the coin looks slightly incomplete. Another highly desirable error is the double die, where letters, numbers, or part of the design appear doubled. The doubling on Hawaii quarters is subtle but extremely collectible. Even more dramatic errors include clipped planchets, rotation errors, die cracks near the islands, and missing clad layer mistakes that reveal a darker copper surface beneath. These kinds of errors transform a normal circulating coin into a treasure. Even a small unique flaw can raise the value far beyond what anyone expects. Collectors also love the satin finish versions, released only for mint sets. These coins have a special soft glow, different from normal circulation strikes. Many collectors don't know that these satin finishes can be worth far more if kept untouched and preserved in high condition. What makes the 2008 Hawaii quarter truly interesting is its position as the last state quarter ever made in this program. It closed nearly a decade of collecting excitement, and because of that, many people kept them, but only a few kept them in perfect form. The rarity lies in finding clean, error-free, or error-rich examples in excellent condition. So if you have this coin at home, take it out, examine it, check the surfaces, look for doubling, inspect the edges, and pay attention to anything unusual. You might be sitting on a valuable piece of numismatic art without even knowing it. And if you're a collector, this coin is almost essential in your collection because it marks the end of one of America's greatest coin collecting eras. Now, let's come to the real market price and auction value of this coin. A normal circulated 2008 Hawaii quarter is worth only 25 cents. But rare high-grade examples can sell for hundreds. And certain error examples have been auctioned for more than $1,000 depending on condition and rarity. Coin number 8. We are exploring one of the most visually powerful and historically meaningful coins from the 50-state quarter program, the United States of America 2006 South Dakota State Quarter. A coin that looks simple at first glance but carries a deeper story, stunning symbolism, hidden rarities, and rare errors that can turn an ordinary pocket coin into something collectors hunt for around the world. So coin lovers, prepare yourselves, listen closely, and enjoy every moment, because this coin has much more to reveal than people realize. The South Dakota quarter was released to honor a state known for its wide-open landscapes, the rugged Black Hills, and one of the most famous monuments in American history. And right at the heart of this coin's design is Mount Rushmore. But not just Mount Rushmore the way you see it on postcards. The engraver captured a dramatic angle, showing the faces of Presidents Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln in bold, crisp detail. Surrounding them is the majestic ring-necked pheasant, swooping gracefully across the scene. The pheasant is the state bird, and its wings create a sense of motion that few other state quarters have. Below it is a cluster of wheat, representing the hard-working farming spirit of the region. This isn't just art. It's a tribute to history, wildlife, leadership, and the land that shaped South Dakota's identity. And that is why collectors instantly fell in love with this coin when it was released. But what many people don't know is that the South Dakota quarter comes with some surprising mysteries, minting errors, and extremely rare top-grade survivors that can be worth real money. Let's talk about rarity first. Even though millions of South Dakota quarters were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, most of them entered heavy circulation. People spent them, scratched them, tossed them in pockets, and hardly any were saved in pristine condition during release. That means true high-grade business strikes, the ones with sharp eagle feathers, clean monument detail, and flawless luster, are surprisingly hard to find today. Collectors hunt these coins in bankrolls, coin boxes, and old jars hoping to find one that escaped wear. A perfect example with no scratches or bag marks can reach strong prices at auctions, and now the most exciting part comes with the minting errors. Some of the most valuable South Dakota quarter errors include double die errors, where the lettering or wheat lines appear doubled. These can be subtle, but under a magnifying glass, they look magical. Collectors absolutely love doubled dies because they are rare and unmistakable once you know what to look for. Another major category of rarity is off-center strikes. If the coin was not perfectly aligned during minting, part of the design shifts outward, creating a dramatic, eye-catching error. Some of these are so off-center that parts of the bird or Mount Rushmore appear missing. These are extremely collectible because no two are exactly alike. Then there are clipped planchet errors, where the coin has a noticeable bite-shaped cut along the rim. These happen when the metal sheet overlaps during punching. Missing clad layer errors, where the silver color is gone on one side and the copper core is exposed, can be extremely valuable too. A South Dakota quarter with a missing clad layer is one of the most fascinating versions of this coin because it looks dramatically different from the normal one. Rotated die errors also exist, where the reverse and the obverse are not aligned properly. These create coins that look twisted when flipped. Collectors love them because they are very uncommon, but what makes South Dakota quarters especially interesting is the satin finish version released only in mint sets in 2006. These satin finish coins have a beautiful soft glow and a unique texture that is completely different from normal circulation strikes. If you find a satin finish South Dakota quarter in high condition, keep it safe, because these are already growing in collectible value. The more you learn about this coin, the more you realize why collectors enjoy studying it. Its design includes monumental American history, bold wildlife imagery, and agricultural strength. Its errors carry artistic unpredictability from the minting process. Its rarity lies in the condition, the survival, and the unusual mistakes that slip through quality control. All of these elements combine to create a coin that is not only visually strong but also full of hidden value. So if you own a South Dakota quarter, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look at the bird's feathers, the monument details, the wheat stalks, and the rim. Check the lettering for doubling. Look at the edges for signs of missing clad. You may have something far more valuable than just a quarter. Now we reach the real market value and auction price. A normal circulated 2006 South Dakota quarter is worth only 25 cents. But rare high-grade examples have sold for hundreds. And the rare mint error examples have reached auction prices of more than $1,000 depending on condition and rarity. Coin number 9. We take a journey deep into the heart of American natural beauty, through one of the most breathtaking landscapes ever honored on a United States quarter. This is the 2015 Blue Ridge Parkway State Quarter, a coin that represents more than just currency. It represents nature, history, engineering, and the magical road that curves across the mountaintops like a ribbon floating in the sky. And for coin lovers, it holds hidden rarities, surprising mint errors, and unexpected values that most people have no idea exist. So stay with me, listen closely, and enjoy every second, because this coin has stories that will keep you watching until the very end. The Blue Ridge Parkway Quarter, part of the America the Beautiful series, instantly stands out from the moment you look at it. The design is unlike any traditional state quarter. Instead of monuments or historical figures, this coin takes you right into a scenic mountain view. The artwork shows the famous Lynn Cove Viaduct, a curved bridge wrapping beautifully along the mountainside. The way the artist captured the upward angle, the winding stone walls, the branches of the rhododendron flower, all of it gives the coin an immersive feel, almost like you're looking into a window rather than at a piece of metal. Collectors love this coin for its dramatic design, but what makes it even more exciting is the fact that several rare varieties and errors exist. These hidden features turn an ordinary 2015 quarter into a coin worth far more than 25 cents. One of the most appreciated features of the Blue Ridge Parkway quarter is the challenge of finding it in high-grade condition. The surface of this coin is extremely detailed. The curved bridge, the mountain lines, and the delicate flowers all create small spaces where tiny scratches and bag marks easily appear. Because of this, perfect condition examples, especially those graded at the highest possible levels, are much rarer than people expect. Collectors search through rolls, mint sets, and entire bags trying to find one flawless piece. The few that do exist often become premium coins in the marketplace. Now, let's talk about the rare and exciting minting errors that make this coin especially valuable. One of the most interesting types is the double die error. On the Blue Ridge Parkway quarter, doubling can appear on areas like the leaves of the rhododendron, the letters of the word blue, or even along the rim. When doubling occurs, it gives the coin a dramatic shadowed appearance, and collectors absolutely chase these pieces because they are visually striking and easily distinguishable under magnification. Another extremely desirable error is the off-center strike. Normally the design sits perfectly centered, but when the blank planchet shifts during minting, part of the image moves, leaving a portion missing or incomplete. An off-center Blue Ridge Parkway quarter with more than 10 or 15% of the design shifted can bring strong prices at auction. The further the shift, the more valuable the coin becomes. Clipped planchet errors also exist for this coin. These are coins that appear to have a bite taken out of them, caused when the metal sheet overlaps during punching. These are rare, desirable, and fun to display. Missing clad layer errors transform the coin into something totally different. Without the nickel outer layer, the coin displays a copper surface, giving it an unusual two-tone or full copper appearance. These coins are extremely collectible, especially when the reverse design still shows full detail with a dramatic color difference. Some collectors have also reported die cracks, die chips, and strike-through errors on the Blue Ridge Parkway quarter. These include raised lines, extra bumps on the lettering or the bridge structure, or marks caused by foreign material getting stuck in the die during minting. Each one is unique, making them miniature pieces of accidental art. Another special piece from this coin's release is the satin finish version, found only in official mint sets. These satin finish Blue Ridge Parkway quarters have a smooth texture and soft glow that look completely different from circulation strikes. They are already becoming harder to find in clean and untouched condition, making them steadily more valuable as more collectors focus on the America the Beautiful series. The design of this coin does something that few quarters achieve: it transports the viewer. It brings a sense of peace, adventure, natural wonder, and the open road. It tells a story of engineering excellence, mountain serenity, and blooming beauty all at once. And that emotional connection is why collectors love it. Even new collectors, those still learning the hobby, often point to this coin as one of the most artistic and calming designs in modern U.S. coinage. If you own this coin, take a moment to study the curves of the bridge, the rock textures, the leaves, the sky, and the edges. Look for doubling, look for unusual color, look for misalignment, look for cracks and odd shapes. You might be holding something rare, something special, something that collectors will appreciate for decades to come. Now we reach the real market value. A normal circulated 2015 Blue Ridge Parkway quarter is worth only 25 cents. But high-grade examples have sold for more than $300 in auctions. And rare major mint error examples have reached auction prices of more than $1,000 depending on rarity and condition. Coin number 10. We are traveling into one of the most rugged and captivating landscapes in the United States, captured forever on a single quarter. This is the 2013 Great Basin National Park Quarter, part of the America the Beautiful series, a coin that is much more than just currency. It represents nature, history, and the hidden treasures of U.S. coinage. For collectors, this coin is a fascinating mix of artistry, symbolism, and rarity, and in some cases, it includes unusual errors that can turn an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collectible. If you are a coin lover, stay with me, because every detail of this coin is worth exploring. The Great Basin National Park Quarter is an extraordinary design. At its center is the striking bristlecone pine, one of the oldest living trees in the world, with twisted, dramatic branches reaching out like the fingers of time itself. Behind it, the rugged mountain landscape stretches across the coin's surface, showcasing the unique topography of Nevada's remote and breathtaking park. The name Great Basin appears along the edge, emphasizing the location, while a soaring mountain goat stands proudly nearby, symbolizing the wild and untamed spirit of the park. Every detail, from the pine needles to the goat's horns, was carefully sculpted to capture the essence of this extraordinary environment. Collectors immediately fell in love with this coin for its visual appeal, but its value goes far beyond aesthetics. Because of the detail and complexity of the design, this quarter is especially prone to minting errors, which have created some of the most exciting opportunities for collectors. One of the most common and desirable errors is the off-center strike. If the blank planchet is slightly misaligned during production, part of the tree, goat, or mountains may shift or even be partially cut off. These off-center errors, particularly dramatic ones, become instantly collectible and are highly sought after at auctions. Another fascinating category of rarity comes from die cracks and die breaks. The intricate textures of the bristlecone pine and the jagged mountain peaks put stress on the dies. Tiny fractures can appear as raised lines across the coin, sometimes running through the tree branches, the goat, or along the mountainous horizon. In more severe cases, part of the die breaks off completely, creating a cut error, a raised blob of metal on the edge or near the design. Each of these errors is unique, which makes them especially exciting for collectors, as no two are ever exactly alike. Struck-through errors are also found on some Great Basin quarters. When grease or foreign material interferes with the die, small sections of the tree, goat, or mountain details may appear missing, smudged, or faint. These subtle variations, while sometimes overlooked by casual observers, are highly prized by collectors who understand the story behind these imperfections. The coin's complex design ensures that even minor errors are visually striking, setting them apart from regular circulation examples. Some extremely rare and valuable Great Basin quarters have been struck on the wrong planchet. When a coin designed for a quarter is accidentally struck on a dime, nickel, or foreign blank, the result is immediately noticeable. The design is squeezed, incomplete, or oddly positioned, and the coin becomes a one-of-a-kind mint error. These wrong planchet quarters often fetch very high prices in auctions because of their rarity and dramatic appearance. Condition is another critical factor in the coin's value. The fine details of the bristlecone pine, the mountain peaks, and the mountain goats features can wear down quickly in circulation. Perfect mint state examples with sharp details, intact surfaces, and full luster are remarkably rare. That rarity drives demand among collectors who are looking to complete their America the Beautiful series with the highest quality coins available. The Great Basin Quarter also stands out for its place in the broader America the Beautiful program. Released in 2013, it is part of a series that celebrates the diversity and natural beauty of U.S. national parks. This coin captures the imagination because it combines historical significance with an appreciation of the natural world. For collectors, it is more than just a coin, it's a representation of the country's heritage, environmental diversity, and artistic creativity. If you hold a Great Basin quarter in your hand, take the time to examine it carefully. Look at the twists in the bristlecone pine, the texture of the mountains, and the stance of the mountain goat. Inspect the lettering for any doubling, check the rim for missing clad layers or clipped planchets, and see if there are any raised lines or irregularities. You might just be holding a coin that is more valuable than you realize, either as a high-grade example or as a rare mint error. Now for the real market value. A normal circulated 2013 Great Basin quarter is worth only 25 cents. High-grade mint state examples can sell for more than $100. Rare error examples, including off-center strikes, wrong planchet coins, or severe die breaks, have reached auction prices of more than $1,000 depending on the condition and rarity.